name is Katharina Wolf. I'm a lecturer in public relations based within the School of Marketing in the business school. What I found from students, they said they actually don't really learn much from me, which is great. They actually learn from their peers in class, and it always depends on that engagement. So my whole idea was to completely shift that approach further over to student-centred learning, to peer-to-peer learning, but also to bring that reflection in, because I found students only realised what they actually got out of the seminars. We mainly ran 3-hour seminars, once they had the opportunity to reflect on what they actually discovered in class. So that was very important for me then. Two of the key elements we've used throughout this unit was a case study wiki. So we used the wikis within Blackboard. And what we decided to do is, instead of me presenting a case study, and once they come out in textbooks they're already dated anyway, we for the last few years select very topical case studies. So we talk about online communication, talk about the Obama campaign, or we talk about the representation of oil companies in the Nigerian Delta. So students get a topic, they get a couple of guiding questions, but then they're off on their own, so they develop their own case study. So I wanted to use those wikis to provide students in different locations with access to those particular case studies, and to also provide them with different access to different approaches. So by using the wiki as a platform, I wanted to introduce students to different group collaboration tool. It also helped me to actually counteract the typical issues with group work where someone apparently hasn't done anything and someone else did all the work. So it helped us to actually monitor and see who's done what. The other thing I've introduced as part of the eScholar program is a reflective video diary. The idea was based on the focus groups I ran earlier. I saw that students really on reflection realised how much they got out of a particular class. And again, I wanted them to learn from their peers across seminar groups. So they've got a minimum requirement of 5 video diary contributions over the semester, to not just repeat what they learned in class, but to critically reflect on that and what they got out of it, and maybe bring in some other case studies. And then they've got an option to upload a 6th one to further boost their mark up to a total of 10%. And what we found, it provided us with a great mechanism to see what students got out of a particular topic. It also provided us with more teaching material. And it was fascinating to see the conversations students had on the back of some of those video diaries, because they could actually comment on those. So we had some students uploading directly, others using Vimeo or YouTube and then linking it to the Blackboard Enable blog. But it was fascinating to see how students, not all of them used it, but could tap into what happened at other campuses or in other seminar groups. Students did lead quite a lot of support, and I didn't realise upfront how much support they would actually need. We assume students know about technology, they know what wikis are, no they don't, so I actually had to provide them with some examples. What are good examples? What I've also done with the wiki, I got them to think about case studies up front and got them to reflect on it. What would they expect from a good case study? So they developed their own marking criteria, or let's say they contributed, because they didn't contribute as much as I was possibly hoping to, and I think it's because it's a different environment, they're not really used to that. And in terms of the video diaries, they really needed a step-by-step process to tell them how to upload, where to go, how to create a YouTube account if they wanted to go down that road, how to set up the settings within YouTube so someone can actually see your diary in the end. So that was quite a steep learning curve for me to also realise what kind of support they needed there. Also in terms of staff training, that was a big challenge for us as well. I made a lot of resources available for teaching staff. But if we had more time, it would have been great actually to preempt staff, to pre-train them. On reflection, because we've been running the unit in this format now for 4 semesters, I perceive the learning is far deeper and far richer, and also the engagement both in class and outside class is much richer. Also as a result of that, the engagement with our offshore cohorts, it's much better. Still not as engaged as I would like it to, and that depends on different timings and all of those, the semester timing. But it's provided us with far more material, far richer material, specifically from a cross-cultural perspective. I believe overall it's very easy to implement something similar. It depends on the student cohort, and I think to a large extent it also depends on the freedom we're given in what we can do. What I find is whenever you introduce something new, it's not easy, because automatically you're trying out something, so student feedback, it's going to be less positive because you're still trialling, and it got resource implications. I reckon the best resource is for us to engage more across different areas, and that's something we haven't tapped into. So implementing something, it's quite easy, but we tend to all try to do something ourselves and reinvent the wheel, and there needs to be more communication across different areas to enable people to learn from each other and to really exchange ideas.